It's not live, I guess. Not showing live. Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So today we are going to talk about the senior batch, which we are going to launch, right? So as you might be aware of the performance we have given from the last batch itself in 2024, right? So just give me a thumbs up if I'm audible. Everyone, am I audible? Yes, please. Right? So the thing is, in this discussion, we are going to talk about the implementation part, like how this entire program will be implemented, right? Like in the previous session, the Shashank sir has already given you the brief idea. What are the various parameters? What are the various components we have in this program? But today we will see actually how this program is going to help you in the mains answer writing. Because the reason is, when we have launched this program last year, many students were not aware of the senior batch. Like, they thought this is just a normal answer writing program. But there are lot of components they have realized after they joined the program, especially after the prelims itself, right? So it is very crucial to understand what exactly are the components and how we are going to implement that. And that is where I'm going to focus today. I will also show you the live demonstration of all the activities which we are going to conduct in this program, right? So please, if you have any doubts, any queries, feel free to ask me about this. But before that, please make sure you you listen to me very carefully, because a lot of important things I'll be talking about in this session, right? So first I will show you, like, there are so many comments I have personally received after the result was out. And every student, he was talking about the very crucial component of answer writing, and that is the structuring of the answer writing. Being a senior student, I can understand you might not be having issues with the content, you might not be having issues with the articulation of the points, but still, why we are facing, or why there is a hurdle when it comes to scoring extra marks in the mains? So this entire session, I'm going to talk about how to increase 0.5 or 1 marks extra. 0.1 marks or 0.5 marks extra if you are getting in every question. Just imagine how beneficial it is going to be in overall performance, right? So every student, they talked about, like, try to add multiple dimension, marks increased, but conclusion were missing in many questions, costing 5-6 marks, right? So all these comments shows that yes, the student has gained the benefit last year as well. And in this, and one more important thing, student, in 2025 batch, which is exclusive batch, which we are launching on 19th, have other components as well. And why we have included other components? Because after the result was out, I had interaction with so many students, right, who unfortunately could not clear this 2024 mains. So I had a word with them. So after talking with them, I realized there were few components, or rather, there were some gaps in their strategies, right? And those gaps are not easily visible, because it comes with the experience, right? There are a lot of things. So we have included that as well in this 2025 senior batch as well. So you will come to know about all those aspects in the next slide, right? So very first thing, before we proceed, if you have any query related to the senior program, I would request you to fill the form given in the description box. And I will also request you to come Vajiram main building, and you can also have a direct one-to-one session with me. You can bring your answers, you can bring your notes, and you can share your strategy with me, right? And then you will see, we will sit together, we will identify where are the gaps and how it is possible to fill those gaps in just 3 months, which we have, right? So this is the time where many students will be confused. Many students are confused. Why they are confused? Because we hardly have 3 months or 4 months, right? So how it is possible to balance the preparation? Because prelims questions or the nature of prelims is also very dynamic, right? So many students are confused how to balance the approach for prelims and mains. So that is what we are going to talk about today, and I'll show you the practical example how your journey can be so easy. Like, you can prepare for mains, at the same time you can start with the prelims as well, right? But I'm sure since you are a senior student, prelims will not be a challenging part, but still we cannot ignore also, right? We never know what kind of question UPSC will ask. So this is the time when we have to think very carefully. We have to follow the balanced approach, right? So feel free to come to the main office, okay? The new building, 7B. You will find me, other senior mentors are there. So we will definitely going to have a one-to-one word with each other, right? So let's begin with the main session. And these components, the Shashank sir has also talked about what are the various components. Apart from this, student, there are other components as well, which I'll be talking about, right? Because I'll show you why other components are very, very crucial, very crucial, right? So if you have any doubt, you can come to me later. So the very first thing which I would like to discuss about the specific issues senior faces in the preparation, right? Here you have to take a moment. Just ask yourself, what was the mistake did you commit last year? What was that particular mistake did you commit? And why it is important to analyze your mistakes, the gaps in your preparation, because those gaps are very minor gaps, right? Because you already have given one mains or two mains or maybe three mains. Many students in the last batch was from have appeared reviews. Unfortunately, some of the students not clear mains this year also, right? So after talking with them, these are the main issues I have pointed out. That is lack of structured plan to combine prelims and mains, right? Many of you might be thinking, yes, we have given 2 interviews, we have given 3 mains, so now this is the time we should start with the prelims, right? So this is a wrong thinking or wrong approach, I will say, because let me tell you one very important thing. If you have analyzed the previous year's questions the way we want you to analyze, which I will show you how in the upcoming in a few minutes, you will find there is a coherence between the prelims topics and the mains topic. So why you have to divide the syllabus according to the prelims and mains, right? You can continue with the mains preparation, answer writing, and at the same time you can start with the prelims. I will talk about that, right? Second thing is PYQ analysis is missing from the preparation. Whenever I'm talking with senior batch, they always talk about, sir, we have done PYQ analysis, we have wrote the answers of PYQs of last 5 or 10 years, but to be very frank, my friends, PYQ answer writing is different, PYQ analysis is different, right? When you practice answer writing, you basically try to assess your performance, right? You try to assess how much content you can write down, right? What is the level of your answer writing? But when we analyze the previous year's question, we basically learn something new, not something, almost everything as far as the demand of the question is concerned or the demand of the UPSC is concerned, right? So analysis is very important. I will show you how we are going to analyze the previous year's question. And in this program, this year for senior batch, we have also pre-test discussions where we will be discussing the previous year's questions. We will be giving you the themes and all. Based on those themes, you can prepare the notes and all, right? So this is PYQ analysis is very important. And it is not only about the pre-test discussion. I will be and team will be conducting every week. There will be one session where we will be discussing various things, right? For example, the brainstorming the question, structuring of the answer, brainstorming the previous year's question themes. We will talk about the value addition. Every week there will be group session where the rankers will be participating, right? Because in this program, even rankers are eligible, right? So the rankers will be there. Senior students like who have given 2 interviews will be there. So all those things are going to create a different kind of environment, which is very crucial to clear this exam. I hope this is clear. It is just not like a normal traditional mains answer writing program where you just write the test, your copies are evaluated, you get a chance to speak with a mentor. No, it is more than that, right? Every week there will be a sessions and all. I will make sure every aspect as far as the mains is concerned will be covered in that, right? The third is lack of short notes for effective revision. I will show you in the upcoming slides. I will show you how the students basically have transformed their journey as far as the notes are concerned. After analyzing the previous year's questions, after talking with us, how they have changed their notes, right? So many students, many of you, when I was having a word with rankers last year, I asked them, do you have a notes prepared? So many of them, yes, said, sir, yes, we have a notes prepared. Everything is ready. But when I had a look in those notes were not crisp. Just imagine, students, you are already experienced. Is it feasible? Is it really feasible to revise like 200 pages of notes during the mains? It is not possible, right? But whenever we are making the notes, we get emotional. We want everything in the notes. Why we want everything in the notes? Because we don't have clarity what should be there in the notes, right? If you know what should be there in the notes, obviously you will not writing or you will not be dumping the data, right? So that is important aspect. Again, we are going to cover in the weekly session, and even in the pre-test discussions, we are going to discuss what exactly should be in your notes. Personally, our team will be reviewing your notes as well. Along with your answers, we will be reviewing your notes as well, right? So this is how you you will be able to give a better presentation, or you can say you will be able to collect only the important facts for your notes, right? Then issues with the structuring of the answer. This is the most important aspect of answer writing. This is the most important aspect, okay? Because structuring of the answer writing, let me tell you why structuring of the answer writing is very important. Because I have seen many, or rather I have personally talked to many students. Whenever I ask them, what exactly do you mean by structuring of the answer, right? So the very simple answer they give to me is, sir, we identify the keyword, right? We highlight the keyword and we try to address it in the answer. But I will show you what is the problem with that approach, right? Structuring of the answer is not only about picking up the keyword from the question and addressing it in the answer. Many times you will feel, after reading your own answer, you will feel, I think something is missing in my answer. The most important thing which will be missing is the flow in the answer. Point number 2, your answer will not be holistic, right? Third thing which will be missing is presentation issues, right? Then in the structuring also, you might miss the non-core demand of the question, right? You might not be able to focus on the core demand itself. Many students sometimes focus more on the non-core demand. I will show you the live example also, right? So this is the structuring is again most important issues. And my special focus will be on this structuring part, where I will try to conduct one group session every week, where we are going to pick up the previous year's question, where we are going to pick up your answers, which you have written or the rankers are going to write, who are already recommended and trying to and going to enroll for the rank improvement. We will discuss that, right? So structuring is the most important part. And if you already were the part of the senior batch last year, you already know it, right? The kind of approach we used to apply in the discussion, one-to-one discussion. There were 6 parameters, right? There were 6 parameters which we used to consider or which we used to apply while deciphering the demand of the question, right? So many students in the last batch has applied the same strategy, which I will talk about in some time, and you will see how drastically it will help you to improve the answers or the quality of the answer, right? So structuring is the major issue. Then value addition is missing. First of all, student, try to understand, right? Before you focus on the value addition, you should know what exactly are the value addition, right? For example, you are preparing a notes on the food processing industry. Suppose you are preparing a notes on the inclusive growth, right? Suppose you are preparing notes on the executive power, misuse of executive powers in India. So you should know what exactly are the value addition. In many times I have seen in our notes, only value addition is missing, rest everything is there, right? So that is the reason I'm emphasizing more on, come to the office, show me your notes, show me your answer. I will tell you where do you lack. Our entire team is here, right? So please don't try to don't get confused when it comes to the mains answer writing. If you are going, trust me, student, if you are going to start answer writing again for 2025 from 19th itself, it's, I can guarantee you in next 2 or 3 months you will see the change. You will see how you will be able to increase the marks, 1 marks extra in each and every answer, right? In the previous batch, many students, they confessed in front of me that, sir, it was a disaster we have done, right? Like if we would have joined this batch back in January, then our condition or our preparation would have been at a different level. And if you were the part of that, you might agree with me, right? So now this is the point. Now the second thing is a structured plan to combine prelims and mains. So like I said, I will begin with this, right? The very first issue you will be thinking about how to structure a plan where you can start with prelims and mains at the same time. So the most important thing which I would like to say here is your entire, see, first, don't separate mains and prelims month wise. Okay, these are some don'ts which you have to follow. Don't separate the preparation or the month. Like for next 3 months, I'll be just writing the answer after in or maybe 2 months, and then I'll directly jump on the prelims. I will not touch the mains part. I will not look at the optional. I will not even touch the answer writing. It's not like that. Just have patience. I will tell you how we can basically merge both the process, right? Then second mistake which you have to avoid is don't pick up the separate subject for the prelims and mains. That is what we do because see, the problem is, like I have said in the beginning also, when you are going to analyze the previous year's questions of the prelims and mains, you will find coherence. Whatever the topic which has repeatedly asked by the UPSC in the mains, from the same topic UPSC have asked n number of questions in the prelims also. You just have to find out the logic, right? What or the area that is important to understand. So don't do it. Then don't start making notes of everything you read, right? This is again the problem with especially those students, those category of students who have not prepared the notes so far, right? So again, since you know the importance of notes making to clear this exam, you might start writing down everything, and I will show you how student has done it, right? So don't do it. Then reading current affair from prelims and mains separately. Student, I'm asking you one very simple question. If I ask you to frame questions on the current affair, are you going to categorize the current affair for the prelims and mains. It is not like that, right? You just focus on the issues, right? Whether the issues are of national importance, international perspective, focus on the issues. When you are going into the depth of that particular issue, from there only you will find the prelims questions in the exam, right? So, and if you really want to focus on the facts which you think is important for the prelims, so in Vajiram, we release the current affair magazine. It is very extensive. We cover every possible source. So you can refer that particular magazine. Recitals are there, right? Which is based on, in recital, you will find the articles theme wise, right? So you can refer that. So those two sources are very good for the current affair coverage, right? So you can refer that as well. So, but do not separate the strategy. That is what I'm trying to say. Okay, pick up one current affair source where you will get everything. Recitals are must for the mains, and for prelims you can refer either the monthly magazine, or we are going to provide you the current affair, you can say the gist kind of data, right? So these are some common mistakes which you have to avoid, right? Now, what are the do's? Solve MCQ, PYQs of prelims while analyzing the mains topic, right? So let me tell you one important thing. When you will be starting with the mains preparation, we are going to start with the analysis of previous year's questions, because just a second, I think we have some messages. No. Okay. So our entire approach for the mains is going to be based on the previous year's questions of the mains, right? And the analysis of previous year's questions will be provided to you in the pre-test discussion. Okay. So after analyzing those themes which we will be giving you in the pre-test discussion, just let me pick up. Okay. So suppose you have got PYQ themes for the mains, right? Based on these themes, you can prepare the notes. So as soon as you complete your notes making exercise on these particular themes, for example, you are done with Constitution, fundamental rights, DPSP, center-state relation, right? Then why don't you pick up the prelims question from the same topic? And for this reason only, we have a camp prelims program. In the camp also, we have structured the program in the same fashion. So if you really want to prepare mains and prelims, you can start preparing this strategy like this, right? Where at the same time, when you are analyzing the previous year's question themes for the mains and preparing the notes, why are you not solving 50 questions? What is the problem? Why you are planning to start practicing prelims questions after 2 months? See, the problem is, if you are going to follow this approach, again you have to come back to the same topic, same subject. Again, it will take some time to revise, and then you will practice the prelims question. So this is the best strategy, student. Trust me, many students who have been following this, they are scoring really good marks. And when you will be solving these prelims question, even prelims questions, previous year's questions of the prelims, you will find the coherence, and then you will understand the importance of these topics or various aspects, right? So this is something you need to focus on. Second part is daily structuring of the PYQ mains, right? I hope, just let me change the color of the pen. Okay. I hope if you have been with us last year in the senior program, I used to ask everyone whether you are writing on a daily basis or not. but you should focus on structuring of the previous year's question. Now you will be confused, what exactly are the structuring? If you are watching this session for the first time, or if you have not met me before, I will show you what exactly are the structuring. Structuring is not about writing the answer itself. Structuring is all about thinking various dimensions in your answer. Thinking about what should be your approach to address all the demand of the question. And it should not be in your mind, but it should be with pen and paper, right? I will show you in the upcoming slides. I will show you what exactly is the structuring. So daily, whatever the notes you are preparing, whatever the topic you are analyzing, just save half an hour every day. Pick up 2 previous year's question, right? Or maybe you can pick up the same question which you would have written in short mains, and you can start thinking about it, how you could have done better, right? So you have to train your mind to think differently. Otherwise, how are you going to see the progress? It is not possible. So structuring of the answer is very important. And this is what I was talking about, which we will be conducting on a weekly basis in the group, right? Then notes making only for the value addition, right? Why I say value addition? If you are a beginner, you might not be able to understand how to prepare only the value addition, but I will tell you how. But please try to understand, students, if you are going to have everything in your notes, you will not be able to use it during the mains preparation, right? One pager notes has to be there. And let me tell you one more thing. Along with your notes, we are also going to provide you one pager note as well. I will show you how the one pager notes are and how it is going to help you in your notes preparation as well, right? Then conciliation of current affair topic for prelims and mains. So this I have already talked about, right? So I hope so far this is clear. Now, let's say what is the next? Okay, never ignore PYQs. Why I say never ignore the PYQs? Because you can find the video on YouTube itself, on Vajiram channel, where I have given the evidence, or where I have given the proof, right? Even before the mains itself, I used to emphasize, or I used to ask my student to focus on the previous year's questions. More than 50% of the question are repeated every year in the mains, right? And I'm not saying indirectly, direct question UPSC are asking. But problem is, many student comes to me and they ask me, sir, 5 years of previous year's question we have done, 10 years of the previous years we have done. It is not about the 5 years or 10 years. It is about holistic coverage of the topic. So in order to cover entire topic, if you have to go back, or if you have to refer last 10, 15, 20 years of previous year's question, you must do it. Because the reason is, even though if you are going to analyze the last 20 years of previous year's questions, you will find there are a lot of themes which will be repeating again and again. At the end, you will get only 5 or 6 themes from that entire topic. But you will know what all dimensions are important. So that is the reason PYQ themes are very important. And this is what we are covering in the previous year's question. In the pre-test discussion. In the pre-test discussions, we are only covering the previous year's themes, right? Then for notes making, right? If you do not know the themes, on what you are collecting the notes, right? If you do not know what are the important aspects in any particular topic, on what topic you are preparing the notes, then I really don't understand how can you make the notes without knowing what exactly are important, or what all important aspects I need to cover from for the mains perspective. It is not possible. Then brainstorming on daily basis, right? when you will be looking at the previous year's questions, definitely you are going to brainstorm. Brainstorm what? You will try to understand the demand of the question, right? Because if you will not be able to understand the demand of the question, you will not get the themes. When you will not get the themes, you will not be able to prepare the notes, right? So all these steps are interlinked, and it starts with the previous year's question, right? I will show you how significant the previous year's questions or how important they are in your preparation or notes making. Then identification of expected themes, right? Then value addition. So all these points, all these important aspects will be covered only from the previous year's question, right? Then notes making exercise, right? What are the notes making exercise? These notes making exercise, again, we will be covering in, maybe alternate week, on a weekly basis, or maybe every alternate weeks, where we will collect the notes of few students, or the good notes, you can say, and we will see how others are preparing, right? I will show you the examples of good notes as well, right? So pre-test discussions, based on the pre-test discussions, you can prepare your notes, right? So, and notes to be prepared from the themes only, right? Value addition based on the themes, weekly group discussion on the most expected themes. All these will be covered in the pre-test discussions, as well as when we will be conducting the group discussion also, right? So notes making exercise is something which we are going to focus in this batch as well, right? So apart from the pre-test discussions, we will also be focusing on the notes making, because many students, they have come to me and they have asked me, sir, like, we have been practicing answer writing for last 2-3 years, but score is not increasing, right? Today I was having a word with couple of students, right? See, my friends, you need to understand this process. Okay, let me see. If you are not analyzing, suppose from last 2-3 years you are practicing answer writing, right? And your notes are not in, your score is not increasing. Have you ever asked yourself why score are not increasing, and what exactly do you do after that? Many of you might already have realization that if score is not increasing, what exactly do you do? What do? You again start writing. You again start writing, and you think the more number of tests you are going to write, your score will increase. It is not like that, right? You have to identify why your score is not increasing, and the most important reason or the most important cause will be either the structuring of the answer will not be good. Why there will be issues with the structuring? Because you have not done the PYQ analysis. So you will not be able to interpret the demand of the question. When you will not be able to interpret the demand of the question, your structure will not improve. When your interpretation will be wrong or will be ineffective, your notes will be ineffective, right? So problem is not here. Problem is here. I hope this is clear. I hope it makes sense to you. So this is what we are focusing on for the seniors batch, right? When we will be talking on a daily basis, one-to-one, when we will be conducting group discussions, you will realize what are the issues in your preparation, whether it's a notes making, whether it is a structuring, whether it is a value addition, right? So I hope this is clear. Now, just a second. Okay, I think we have some blank slides. Okay, so I'm talking about now the structuring part, right? What exactly is the structuring in the answer? This is the most important part you all need to understand, my friends. I'll show you the live example also. As soon as you read the question, like I said in the beginning, we only focus on the keywords, right? And we interpret the demand of the question in a very narrow, with a very narrow approach, right? Then what is the second problem? The templates which we use in our answer writing is very monotonous. Why it is monotonous? Because we just know write the introduction, then significance, challenges, suggestions, and then conclusion. And this becomes very monotonous for the evaluator. Even the points which you will be writing, this will be very monotonous. Everyone will be writing the same point, right? Everyone will be writing the same points. So it becomes again very difficult for the evaluator to give you extra marks. Similarly, visibility issue. What exactly is the visibility issue? For example, let me give you one clear example. For example, there is one demand of the question, right? You have to write 15 points for just not 15 points, or in entire answer you have to write 15 points, right? Usually what we do in 15 marker question or in 10 marker question, if you have to frame the answer, either you will write 7 points here, 8 points here, right? Only then it will become 15 points, or maybe third, 5 points here, right? Like significance, challenges, and suggestions, right? How many times have you noticed at least 2 points, or sometimes 1 point, or sometimes 3 points will be vague, right? They will be vague, or they will be very open-ended, right? Or maybe if suppose you have to write 20 points in 15 marker question, right? Many times I have seen in 15 marker question, students are not able to decipher the demand of the question. They are writing 7 point, 8 point like this. Just imagine yourself, if you are planning to write 7 or 8 points under one dimension, do you think you will be able to recall those many points? Good points I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the random points. I'm talking about the good points. If you have only 2 demands, or if you have understood only 2 demands in the question, either you will be writing 8.7 points, right? Chances are very high that 5 to 7 points will be very vague. And this is the reason why structuring is very important. To understand what is the core demand, what is the non-core demand in the question, that is very important, right? So, and that is the reason why your answer become monotonous, right? So instead of this fixed template, right, what do? We basically interpret the question in a different way. We try to identify different demands, and here you can write 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, or maybe 4 points here, and these separate headings in your answer. For example, this is demand 1, demand 2, demand 3, demand 4. Maybe demand 2 is non-core demand. You can use flowchart for this. This will bring visibility in your answer. This is how you need to bring the visibility. Otherwise, many times I have seen many students, they just keeps on writing like this: 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like this, right? Do you think there is any visibility in these points? Answer is simply no. if you are going to separate the demand, these subheadings will make your answers more valuable. This will give a different impression, right? So that is how we need to understand the importance of all these aspects, right? I hope this is clear. So structuring of the answer, these are some issues which personally I have seen in many copies, right? Even if you have given 2-3 attempts, still you bring the copies to me or either fill the form and you can book an online session with me. I can definitely highlight these issues in your answer, right? And then lack of value addition, obviously it will be there. Now let's take a live example. Okay, let's try to structure this particular question. I think this particular question is previous year's question, right? What are the impediments in the marketing and supply chain management in developing the food processing industry in India? Can e-commerce help in overcoming these bottlenecks? Can anyone tell me how many demands are there in the question, or what should be the structure of this answer? Yes, please put the comment. Yes. And can anyone tell me what should be the structure of this answer? Like, what are you going to write in the introduction? How many parts you are going to divide your answer? And what will be the idea of conclusion? Anyone, please, quick. You have 1 minute. Yes, please tell me. What are the various demand? See, I'm not saying the visible demand. Visible demand, everyone know. What are the impediments in the marketing and supply chain management developing the food processing industry in India? Can e-commerce help in overcoming this bottleneck? So as far as the core demand of the visible demand of the question is concerned, I know I will talk about issues with marketing and supply chain, right? In developing the food processing. Then second demand, significance of e-commerce, right? And then what are you going to write? Tell me. This is how you might be thinking. The structure will be, some of you might start writing the challenges and the way forward, and then the conclusion, right? That is how you think will be the structure. And in fact, this structure is not bad, but the problem is most of you will be able to decipher this demand of the question, or many answers you will find is following the same structure. Now this is the point where you have to think, how can you make a difference? This is the important area which you have to identify. How can you increase 0.5 or 1 marks extra? How? Can anyone tell me in the group? Please tell me. Yes. Measures to improve introduction can be current status. Okay. Okay. So status introduction means like status of food processing industry. In what context are you talking about? You mean the contribution in the GDP? Is that what you're talking about? Right? So always remember one thing. Always remember one thing. Let me tell you how, if I have to structure this answer, what will be my approach, right? The very first thing is I will try to identify what is the nature of this question. Is the nature of this question is issue based or significance based or both? Because in introduction, if I'm not going to justify these either issues, significance or both, my introduction will be very generic or irrelevant. My introduction and my, or in fact, my entire answer will depend on this, right? So in the introduction, the first statement talks about the impediments in marketing and supply chain management in food processing industry, right? So these are some so this particular statement highlights the issue. Second thing, it talks about this is, can e-commerce help in overcoming this bottleneck? This is kind of the significance, right? So I have to make sure whenever I'm writing down the introduction of this particular question, I should address the entire theme of the question. This is the most common issues I have seen in the introduction, where we pick up just one keyword and we try to address that in the introduction. But whenever you are writing the introduction, you should capture the entire demand of the question. I hope this is clear, right? After that, now, when I have to think about the core demand of the question, what I will do? I will divide this marketing issues separately and supply chain management issues separately. So the first core demand of the question, this will be my demand 1, this will be my demand 2, right? Then I will talk about the significance of e-commerce, right? That will be my demand 3. I will talk about questions is, can e-commerce help in overcoming these bottlenecks? Yes, if the question is asked, definitely it will help. But there might be some challenges in the implementation. This will be my fourth subheading in my answer. And then I will try to give suggestions. So this is how I am going to have more visibility in my answer. I hope this is clear. So visibility is very, very important in your answer if you are planning to score 1.5 or 1 marks extra. Yes, sir. And also the development has happened in this sector over the years. Yes, we can do that as well. Yes, Cynthia, we can do that, right? So this is how you have to develop the thinking, and this is exactly what we are going to do in group session also. See, content is not the problem, right? How to apply that content in the answer is the biggest or the most important hurdle which you need to make sure, or which you need to understand, right? So this is what exactly is the structuring means. And my friends, whenever you are analyzing the previous year's questions, right, you have to focus on this part only. This is brainstorming. Now, after brainstorming this particular question, you can go back to your notes and you can check whether your notes can fulfill the demand of this question or not. If your notes do not fulfill the demand of this question, you have to revisit, or maybe you have to prepare your notes again, right? This is the importance of brainstorming, which we ignore. Last year, my friends, I have seen hardly anyone have told me, sir, we are brainstorming. Many of them have said, sir, we are writing. But the purpose of brainstorming is different, right? If you are going to practice answer writing on the previous year's questions, definitely it will help you in articulation of the sentences. It will help you to complete the paper on time. But from where are you going to bring the quality in your answer? How are you going to score 0.51 marks extra in your answer, right? For that, you have to make sure points are more visible. And to make your points more visible, you have to understand how to break down the question demand, right? I hope this is clear. Now, value addition point, right? I have left this uh, space blank. The reason is, what exactly do you think is the value addition? Many of you might think some data examples which we use in our answer, right, are going to be the value addition. Suppose there is a question on the demographic dividend, right? Or there is a question on the inflation, right? Everyone knows the data. Demographic dividend ka data everyone knows, right? Do you think this will help you to score extra marks? Because everyone will be writing the same data or same examples if the question will be on demographic dividend and all, right? So if the question is open-ended, very common, those data might not help you to score good marks, right? But when it comes to the value addition, you always have to think some exceptionally or some exceptions which you can use in your answer, which I will show you in the upcoming slides when I'll be when I'll show you in one-pager notes how we are providing one-pager notes, what all data examples are there which you can use. I will show you that. So value addition, the idea of value addition is it should increase 0.5 or 1 marks extra. Point number one. Point number two, it has to be unique. It has to be very unique. If it is common, if your data example are common, it may not help you to score extra marks, right? And this is also we are going to discuss in the group session as well, and we are going to tell you tell you in the pre-test discussion also, right? I hope this is clear. Now, okay, so now let me show you the live examples of one-pager notes first. Or first, let me show you what we are going to discuss when you are going to write the answer, how we are going to proceed further. I'm giving you the live example, okay? Because last year many students have complained, sir, they are writing the test again and again, but marks are not improving. I will tell you the reason. Suppose this is a question one of the student has written. Promotion of entrepreneurship and innovation is not an option, but a necessary step to achieve India's development goals, right? This is the question. Now, let me ask you, just ignore the, don't focus on the introduction. I just want you to tell me what is the demand of this question. It's a 10-marker question, right? What are the various demands? How are you going to structure your answer? Tell me. Anyone? See, first, let me show you the answer this student has written. And actually, you will be surprised. This is a good answer. right? He has talked about upon PM Modi's appeal, the job seekers are becoming job creators, with India being recognized as the third largest ecosystem for startups. Okay, he has started with the Prime Minister's statement, that is good. Then he has talked about promotion of entrepreneurship and innovation. That is the first demand of the question, right? Promotion of entrepreneurship and innovation. He has talked about the significance of that, right? Then he has further divided the necessary steps, right, to achieve India's development goal. So he has talked about necessary steps in India's development goals. Then he has talked about challenges and given the way forward. Points are good, facts are there, numbers are there, keywords, Viksit Bharat, Amrit Kal, it's there, right? The conclusion, entrepreneurship with sufficient funding, incubation will lead to innovation specific to our needs to achieve the target of 5 trillion GDP by 2025. Right. So, as far as the entire approach is concerned, we can say it's a fair enough answer. But what are the ways? Yes, you tell me how do you think this answer could have been made more structured, or how do you think the points could have made more visible? Examples? Examples? Like examples of what?
He has written in the statement also examples like Viksit Bharat and Amrit Kal. That is one thing. It is occupying the space also more.
Okay.
It's not visible that much. So we can add some diagram like pie chart or something.
Okay. So okay, let me ask everyone. Okay, just first tell me. Read the question again. Promotion of entrepreneurship and innovation is not an option but a necessary step to achieve India's development goals. Question is necessity based, need based. Yes or no? Question is need based. Yes, everyone. Question, when the I always, this is one template which I have suggested student last year, and you can go and check. The first 4 questions in the GS paper 2 is based on this template. And trust me, just tell me in the if you have given the mains last year, just let me know if you would have divided the demand of the question in the same way, right? Question is need based. Need of what? And entrepreneurship and innovation, right? Why do we need promotion of entrepreneurship and innovation, especially to achieve the development goals? Because due to the absence of innovation or entrepreneurship, our development goals might be delayed or suffering, right? So there exist some issues, right? There exist some issues, because to overcome these issues, we need the culture of entrepreneurship and innovation. No, challenges, that is what I'm going to show you. Issues, challenges are different. I'll come to that part, right? What are the various issues? Issues are what? Related to we are not able to achieve the development goals, right? So we can talk about various sectors of the economy, whether it could be social sector, human development, agriculture sector, manufacturing sector, environmental goals, it could be anything. Those are issues. And that is the reason why we are talking about the significance of entrepreneurship, right? Then when we are going to promote the culture of entrepreneurship and innovation, what will be its significance? And this significance part, we can further divide. Like I said, agriculture, environment, social, manufacturing, right? This is how we can think about, right? Even in health sector, even in space sector, innovation and research. See, how can you generate the point? This, and this is exactly what I want everyone to focus on. This habit you need to inculcate naturally. And this will only come with the practice. I can only give you the direction to think. I can sit with you every week, or maybe when you will be booking slot with me, mentorship slot, I can talk to you one to one. But you have to practice it on a daily basis. Yeah, just pick up 2 questions. Na? Just pick up 2 questions on a daily basis. Brainstorm it. Why are you thinking about the content? Whether you know it or don't know it. Just first see, problem in the answer writing is we just focus on the content. Where are you going to fit the content if you do not have the framework? So think about the framework, content will automatically get fit into it. Okay, for content we are doing a PYQ analysis, themes we are providing you. Based on those themes, you will be able to prepare a good content. In fact, the holistic content, we are giving you 1-page notes also, right? So now see, do you think my points are visible? Yes or no? These small subheadings will make my points more visible. Then I will talk about challenges. Why are we not, yes, why we are not able to, or why this promotion of entrepreneurship and innovation is not happening in India? Issues are those which exist, challenges are those when we are going to implement something. Now, is it clear? So this is the template I have suggested last year. Whenever there is a need-based question, do you think India need a new separate new population policy? India needs a separate agriculture budget. This is how you have to think, right? I hope this is clear. Student, just give me 1 second. I need to put the charger on so that I can read the comment. Excuse me. You have the charger? Phone, I cannot read the comment. Open it here. Okay, I'm sorry. So this is the challenge, and then I will give some suggestion. Right? So this might be my non-core demand of the question. And for this, I will use a flow chart. So now see, there are so many aspects you can think about when it comes to the structuring. Right? Similarly, let's pick up the one more question and then we will move on.
Sir,
Yes?
in the same question, which you are discussing, after the introduction, you talk about the issues. The question was asking how entrepreneurship and these things are necessary.
Necessary.
So we have to show like how it is necessary.
So we are going to write the significance. See, I'll give you a very simple analogy. If I ask you the question, why do you need money? Why do you need money in your life? Because you have some issues in your life which you want to overcome or which you want to solve. And when you will get the money, you will have various opportunities open, right? You can pursue higher education, you can buy a new house, you can buy a luxury car, right? So having money will have a significance, but at the same time you need money because there are some issues which you have in your life or maybe with your families.
How this entrepreneurship and innovation
affecting
in India,
right,
affecting India in various aspects like in GDP. or
So that is what the issues you are going to talk about. Issues is that only. It's the same thing, right? So there is a very thin line between the issues and conclusion, right? So that is the idea. Now look at this question. Describe the evolutionary change in the planning environment in India after the establishment of Niti Aayog. Let's see what is the question. Niti Aayog was established as a policy think tank, replacing the erstwhile Planning Commission in 2014. Evolutionary changes in planning environment. Very good points, right? Women entrepreneurship, then all these cooperative federalism he has talked about, agro planning, very good. Then skill development, then concern he has talked about, and then he has finally concluded the answer, right? So overall, not a bad answer. It's in fact good answer, right? He has given all the examples. What else do you think you could have included in this? Do not interpretate. Do not interpretate the question demand in a very literal sense. Yes, from the group, everyone. Online folks, please tell me, what do you think we can include in this? See, describe the evolutionary change in the planning environment in India after the establishment of Niti Aayog. Right? Don't you think if you are going to start with the significance of Niti Aayog, directly, how do I know it's a evolutionary change? There has to be some reference. There has to be reference, right? So after the introduction, I will talk about some issues with the Planning Commission. Right? So first, after writing the introduction, I will talk about what was the issues with the Planning Commission. In very brief, I will talk about, because this is a non-core demand of the question. It is just to provide the organic connect or flow in my answer. And then how Niti Aayog has helped. Right? And then the role of Niti Aayog, again, I will divide. As far as the cooperative federalism is concerned, as far as the innovation is concerned, right? As far as development is concerned. So these are some side headings I'm going to make. And this is how we will frame the answer. So don't you think 0.5 marks extra I will get for this? No one will be going to address this demand. And this is what going to make your answers more unique. So this is just one part I'm showing you, because I cannot show you everything like in this short session, right? But when we will be conducting group session, there will be a lot of things we will be discussing. Okay. So this is just one part, right? I hope this is clear. Now, as far as the notes are concerned, right? The one-pager notes I was talking about, I'll show you the glimpse of that. See, these are indexes and see all the data and example. Like if the question is related to agriculture and allied activities, you can use direct data. GDP contribution, growth rate, issues with Indian agriculture. See, there are 15, 20 points you can definitely go into, or in your answer, you can pick up 5 points only. You can use them, right? Then 7-point strategy by Agri Ministry to increase farmer incomes. This is a very hot topic, right? This is the 7-point strategy by Agri Ministry to see if you have to write how to increase the farm income. I am damn sure without even reading this, you will be able to give suggestions how to increase the farm income, farmers' income. But if you are going to pick up 5 points from out of these 7, this will make more sense because they are recommended by ministry itself. Otherwise, random points we can write any, right? So that is the thing. Then Dalwai committee recommendation, only the recommendation, right? Then Green Revolution, 7 news scheme recently launched by the government of India, then way forward, and finally strengthening extension systems. So these are all one-pager notes which we will be showing you. Then conclusion, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and farmers' welfare is an integral part of it. Food security to nutritional security. These are the keywords. So this is how we are going to provide you the notes as well. One-pager notes. I hope this is clear, right? So this entire program which I am talking about is not only answer writing, lot of things we are going to provide, like group discussions, one-to-one discussions, right? Sharing best copies, all those things will be provided to you, right? So now, if you have any question, please feel free to ask me. Anyone have any question? If you really want to know the details of the program, you can go on the website, you can fill the Google form, or you can definitely, if you really want to get in touch with me, if you are in Delhi, you can directly come to the office, or either you can fill the Google form to discuss with me your approach, your answers, your notes and everything. Any question anyone have? No? Okay. So the last slide is not coming. Otherwise, I would have given you this scanner to, but I think the Google form is already shared in the description box. How to focus both prelims and mains, sir. Harshini, I think I have already discussed that in the very beginning, right? When you are analyzing the previous year's question themes, at the same time, after completion of the notes, you can pick up 50 questions from the same topic, like 3-4 topics you can club together and you can attempt. Start with the prelims previous year's questions. When you are done with that, if you are a part of our prelims program, then you can solve those questions as well. But please make sure you solving prelims question should be the regular habit. The way I have asked you to analyze the mains question on a daily basis, try to solve few questions on a daily basis, right? Just a second. Okay. Any other question? How many questions write in a day for practice? See, it is not about writing, but at least I think half an hour you can devote on a daily basis to think about the various demand, how you can open up or how you can identify the non-core demand of the question, what are the various aspects you can think, right? So that you can focus on. So 2 questions, if you are practicing on a daily basis, 3 questions, I think it will help you a lot. And every week, write answers, like 10 questions, 20 questions, the timetable which we are following for senior batch. Okay, so I think we should end up the session here. For any other queries, do not forget to fill the form. And if you're in Delhi, please visit our main office, and then we are going to have a word. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining this, and see you in the next session. Thank you.